President Biden has repeatedly denied being involved in all this. Watch.
Why did the Ukraine FBI informant file refer to you as the big guy? Why is that term continuously applied? Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Why that's such a dumb question?
Are there tapes that you accepted bribes, President Biden? Is that true?
Where's the money? I'm joking.
Mr. President,
It's a bunch of malarkey.
Oh, he has time for jokes. But the New York Post front page is calling the Bidens bad to the bone. Fox News contributor Miranda Devine writes in the Post, the Joe Biden bribe allegations need a special counsel now. In Focus, Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona, member of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees. Great to have you in Focus now to get us started on this. First of all, the sort of surprise and explosive nature of the FD 1023, that FBI document. Your top line thoughts.
Well, this gives you two things that are very important. Number one, it gives you a quid pro quo with Joe Biden actually receiving money in exchange for engaging in a corrupt practice to get rid of a Ukrainian prosecutor using U.S. dollars as blackmail. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the FBI sat on this thing and did not even give it to the IRS investigators who are investigating Hunter Biden receiving millions of dollars of money, payment of some kind from Ukraine. They sat on it and did not allow them to have this. So you got a couple things going there. You got the substance of the allegation, then you also have the obstruction by the FBI into the investigation of Hunter Biden.
Look, obstruction is a legal word. And I think now that America has seen what's in that FD 1023, by the way, rather lightly redacted compared with what at least I was expecting. There's so much information in that form. So what's next? I mean, are there legal teeth to all of this to hold people accountable? People at the FBI, the Bidens, family. What's next?
Well, a couple things can happen. We could go into a special counsel, but that's not going to be helpful necessarily because that's controlled by the investigators who we've found to be somewhat corrupted or corruptible. So the next thing is you can move into an impeachment inquiry, and that gives Congress more teeth to actually get more investigators, more subpoena power, and go through and just add to this. But here's the important thing, Harris. This FD 1023 corroborates all of the information in the transcripts from the IRS whistleblowers that they gave to the Ways and Means committees, because the investigators themselves believed the term big guy referred specifically to Joe Biden. Even the assistant U.S. attorney and other supervisors also believed that it was Dad, which was Joe Biden, was engaged in these operations, these business. So you've got a lot going on there, but it all ties Joe Biden right into the Hunter Biden illicit business scandal. And that should give us some teeth if we were able to get some kind of inquiry, whether it's an impeachment inquiry or actually even a more focused special counsel.
Well, and we have him on tape so many times denying knowing anything. You also get him in, possibly obstruction if he didn't tell the truth about those things. We don't know what we don't know yet. You know more than I do, obviously. You mentioned impeach. Would you impeach the sitting president over this if it came to that?
Well, probably yes, where it sits today, and I'll tell you why. There are at least 7 or 8 additional indicia that Joe Biden was involved in Hunter Biden's business. And this provides the quid pro quo. There are tapes purportedly out there. There's 17 of them, which, by the way, is a number that the FBI had redacted originally when I saw the document. But the point is, you have a series of different witnesses, whether it's Rob Walker, where it's the AUSA, or whether it's the Ziegler and the other whistleblower, Shafley, who basically said they believed it was Joe Biden that was involved here. And that leads us to move to an impeachment inquiry. And that's really where the first step is. So you flush it out a little bit more.
I want to get to this breaking news now, and thank you for breaking all that down. A Florida judge now has set the date for former President Donald Trump's classified documents trial. It's set for May 20th, 2024. That is apparently a compromise between prosecutors' requests to start this December and the defense asking to schedule it after the 2024 election. So it's almost right smack in the middle of that. Your take?
Well, I mean, if you look at the underlying prosecution here, it looks to me like it's a very political operation. Again, disparate treatment between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Joe Biden was then vice president. He couldn't take any documents out. You have the case, the Clinton sock drawer case. It looks to me like a political prosecution. It's going to be coming smack dab right in the primary season in some states, and it may have an impact on the election. And that would be the third election in a row that you've seen the police state apparatus actually interfere in our election.
And I got to tell you, Americans, when they say that they have a low percentage of support for the process, don't trust it. Now you understand why. I mean, 3 elections where people maybe feel like they didn't get all the facts that they needed to make informed decisions. All right, well, we'll cover this as it happens. I want to get to something that we've been covering here on The Focus all week. And I got to tell you, when we got to the 19th day in your state with that punishing heat wave affecting now 120 Americans across several states, 120 million Americans, I never thought we'd be at a point now where we are counting it in Phoenix in particular, Congressman, 3 weeks above 110 degrees. Active alerts, heat wave hits the United States. It's fully on our giant wall. And as you mark 22 days, temperatures above 110, your nighttime temperatures are hovering in the 90s. I just want to know, what can we do to help? Tell us what's happening in Arizona.
Well, fortunately in Arizona, people who've been here know how to deal with the desert heat. Now, this is a bit extraordinary for sure, but what we're doing is you're seeing a lot of water stations come up. People are being recommended to stay inside, stay out of the heat where possible. But I will tell you, we're fortunate in Arizona that so many of our citizens understand and respect the heat, and they know how to deal with the heat. But in reality, it's a dangerous thing that we, it's water's the key. Beers, they tell me beer's for drinking, water's for fighting out here, but I don't drink beer, so I'm drinking water. But we have to protect the water supplies here, and Arizona does a pretty good job of that. That needs to go to the people who are in distress.
And looking at this, I've learned more about the city of Phoenix than I knew. Just in full disclosure, my husband's from that state. We have a home next door in Scottsdale. You've got an encampment that looks almost like one in San Francisco with homeless people. It's got 3,000 people in it. I mean, there are thousands of homeless in your state that I wasn't even aware of. But that's a particular area that they're looking at because people are perishing as they try to make it outside. 118, 119 degrees. Your last quick thought. I know politics have to come into that. How do you deal with it?
Well, that's been set up, and it's in downtown Phoenix area. They've got to make sure, Phoenix has got to make sure that there's adequate water, because being outside when it's 118 and you cool down to 90 is an incredibly dangerous situation, Harris. So it's dangerous for those homeless. I'll just add one more thing. It's dangerous for the thousands of people every day trying to cross the southern border, because it's not just in Arizona that's feeling this heat. And you have to respect that our Border Patrol is trying to provide adequate safety and rescue services for these people who are coming across, risking their lives.
Pray all the time for that situation. I can't even imagine what it's like. I was there when it was 100 degrees. This is something else. Congressman, thank you for being with me on several topics today. Really appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thank you, Harris, always.
And of course, we pray for everybody who's in this heat wave. 120 million people across several states.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.